In today's video, I'm going to show you why I think this shotgun right here is the best bang for your buck as far as youth shotguns that are out there today. I'm going to do a pretty in-depth review. We're going to do a 10, a 20, and a 30-yard pattern. Let's get after it. My name is Matt, and I live for moments like these. Guys, I killed the biggest buck of my life this morning. I'm far from an expert, but using persistence and a little bit of luck, I'm able to make some pretty cool things happen. I do my best to capture the entire harvest, the kill, the prep, and my favorite part, the meal. Because to me, it's more than a hunt. It's man versus deer. He is a mass monster. Holy cow. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, really appreciate you taking the time to check out a man versus deer video. I do a lot of hunting videos and gear reviews. My hunting videos are in the style of catch, clean, cook. If that's something you guys think you're interested in, make sure to smack that subscribe button, turn on that notifications bell so you don't miss any new videos. Also, guys, before I jump into the main portion of the video, I got a few companies that really go out of their way to support me and support the YouTube channel. We got Twisted Iron Hunting. You can check them out on Facebook. They make a lot of hunting products for mobile hunters. We got Buck Wipes. We got 2A Firearms. They're a firearm and ammunition company based out of Lebanon, Missouri. And then we got Spit and Facts Game Calls. They give me all the turkey calls that I use in the turkey woods. I'm going to have links to all those companies in the description. Make sure that you support them because they support me. All right, guys, so like I mentioned earlier, this is a review video. What I've got for you here today is a TR Imports youth model shotgun. They call it the Sidekick, and it's a pretty neat little break open 410 gauge shotgun. I searched for over a month, did a bunch of research, and this is what I landed on for the best bang for your buck youth shotgun that's out there on the market today. Your opinion may differ from mine, but as we go along in this review, I'm going to tell you all the things that led to my decision, and then at the end of the video, we're going to do some patterning stuff where I pattern this thing at a 10, a 20, and a 30, and I picked those yardages because, in my opinion, youth hunters are probably not going to be shooting over that, so I tried to make this, the patterning side of this, like as realistic as it would be in a youth hunting scenario. With that being said, guys, let me give you an overview of this shotgun. All right, guys, so what we have here is the TR Imports Sidekick. That is the name for this model of shotgun. It is a 410 single shot shotgun, so you're going to break it open, you'll put your shell in there, close it, fire it, and then have to repeat the process, single shot, 410. This thing comes in two different finishes, or two different options, I should say. This is the wood stock finish, that's the option I have, and then it also comes in a synthetic version with camo on it, which is pretty cool looking. I picked this dude up for 150 bucks. I had to shop around for a little while to find one that cheap. And then the camo version, the cheapest I could find, it was about 40 bucks more expensive in the 180-ish range. So those were the two options I found available, but it's a pretty cool little shotgun and a lot of bang for your buck. It has a 24-inch barrel on it. You've got a fiber optic sight on the front. You've got a Picatinny rail mounted on it out of the box, so you can put a red dot on it or whatever you want to do there. But the Picatinny is also feed, so you can use it for iron sights as well, which is what we're going to rock this season. Does not have a button safety or a hammer safety on here, and I'll get into this more in the likes and dislikes section later. And the break open button is right in front of the trigger guard, so you just pull that back and break it open. Now this is one of the coolest things I liked about this shotgun. When it breaks open, there is a place for the trigger guard cut out of the forend, and this thing will fold virtually in half, which is going to make it pretty storable. You've got a sling stud on the front. It does not have a sling stud on the back, so you'll have to drill and tap one of those if you want to put it in. And then it does come with 3 chokes. It's going to come with a improved, it's going to come with a modified, and then a full. I've got the modified in here now, which is what I did my patterning on. And one of the coolest things I thought when I was reading about stuff with my shotgun is that this shotgun, the way it's threaded, makes it compatible with Benelli choke tubes, so you're going to have a wide range of aftermarket options for choke tubes on this thing should you pursue that. So now that we've covered the main features, I'm going to tell you some of the stuff I like and some of the stuff I don't like. So starting with the stuff that I like, first of all, this thing is super compact. I really like the way that the trigger guard tucks into the forend, and it is just super compact and it's lightweight. You're going to be able to pack this thing in almost any way you want. It could go in a backpack, it could go into that little pouch behind the driver's seat, it could go under a truck seat, and it doesn't weigh a whole lot, so you're going to have a million different ways to pack this thing around. Super, super cool. Second thing I like about this is the stock. A lot of used stocks are so small that you grow out of them fast or an adult can't shoot it. This thing hits it right in the middle, and it's small enough that my 7-year-old can comfortably shoot it, but it's big enough that I can also shoulder and shoot this weapon too if I wanted to, so it's going to be useful for years to come if we continue to want to use this. The Picatinny rail on here I really liked as well. I like the fact that they had the foresight to V it. Very, very small detail, but super handy. And honestly, the iron sights on this thing, out of the box, are dead on. We threw a really, really good pattern up at 10, 20, and even 30 yards, which you'll see later in the video. But this thing comes ready to hunt out of the box, and the iron sight system is actually pretty good. Lastly, guys, they did make the thread tubes compatible with Benelli chokes, so you're going to have a ton of aftermarket options for chokes, which makes this gun a lot more deadly with the right choke combination. So those were the things I liked, and this thing has a lot going for it. All right, guys, now we're going to go into the dislikes on this shotgun, which aren't many. There's only 3, and only one of them that I really, really don't like. None of which were deal breakers, obviously, because I ended up with it, but let's jump into them. First one is the hammer. The pull on it is insanely hard, and I know it looks like I'm doing it fairly easily, but my 7-year-old cannot pull the hammer back on this thing, which is good because it doesn't have a safety, and I'm kind of throwing that in with the hammer thing. As far as dislikes, I really would like a button safety on this. Doesn't have one, but your youth is not going to be able to cock this hammer back. You're going to have to do it for them. So that was my first dislike on this shotgun, and honestly the biggest one. The second thing that I didn't like, and this one's a little bit more minimal, I can for sure deal with it, is the trigger pull. The trigger pull on this thing is pretty heavy. Now for 150 bucks, you really can't complain. But if I'm being picky, the trigger pull could be a little bit lighter. It's a pretty heavy pull. Lastly, they drill and tap the front part and put a sling mount in there, but nothing on the back. I really would have liked to have another sling stud in the back here to be able to put a sling on it. But that's it, guys. As far as dislikes, they're very, very minimal. 2 of them I don't care very much about. The only really big dislike for me on this was how hard the hammer is to pull back and the fact that they're kind of using that as a safety. Moving on to the patterning section and how well this gun shoots, I wanted to show you guys what we were using for ammo and what we were doing with the choke. So the choke that comes pre-installed on the gun is the modified, which is the middle option. So we left that in there. Didn't want anything too condensed or too spread out, so it seemed logical to leave that one in there. And we're shooting Winchester XX ammo. I want to stop right here and thank Tim and 2A Firearms in Lebanon, Missouri. They hooked us up with this box and 2 other boxes for Easton to use for the turkey season. They've been big supporters of me and the channel. I hope that you guys will support them too. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, 2A Firearms. So we're using the Winchester XX ammo. We got the modified choke in there. We did a pattern at 10 yards, at 20 yards, and 30 yards. I picked these yardages because they are the most likely shots that Easton is going to get inside of the turkey season. He's definitely not shooting 40. He's probably not shooting 30. Somewhere between 10 and 20 is more likely. So I did a 10, a 20, and a 30 because that is a youth hunter scenario. Those are shots that a youth hunter is going to make, and I wanted to make this pattern test concurrent with that. So I'm going to show you guys the results, and we'll go from there. So 10 yards, this was our pattern. I'm going to show you the front side. I'm going to show you the back. Very, very good pattern. Obviously, you would expect that at 10 yards, right? But that's a dead bird all day long. Probably going to knock his head off. These are our results at 20. Still a really, really good pattern. Still plenty of shots inside of the kill zone. Definitely still good enough to knock a bird rolling. These are our results at 30. 30 is starting to stretch it with this choke and this ammo and that caliber. 30 is probably not a shot that I'm going to let him make ethically this season. I made this shot and this would have killed that bird. But to put a youth hunter in that scenario with this kind of pattern, I just don't think it's fair to the hunter or the bird, and could end up with a bad situation for both of them. So I think 20 yards with this choke and this ammo is going to be our max, which is just fine. We're going to be hunting from a blind. I'm going to have decoys right out in front of it. And that's how I'm going to set my youth hunter up for success. But that is how she patterned with that ammo and that choke. Obviously, you could make some changes with an aftermarket choke and maybe upgrade the ammo a little bit and stretch that out really, really far. But for a youth hunter and a youth hunting scenario, the chokes that come with it are going to be fine, and your standard turkey ammo like what we're using is going to be just fine as well. Well, guys, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope that you found what you were looking for. I hope you enjoyed your time in the video. More than anything, I hope that you like this enough to come back and check out some of the other man versus deer videos, specifically the catch, clean, cook style hunting videos. Those are my favorite. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, you can do so by buying some merch, and I've got links in the description for that. Or if you shop on Amazon or you're curious about any of the gear that I have and maybe you want some of that gear for yourself, I've got Amazon links in the description. If you click on those and make a purchase, that does help me out a ton too. There's a few people that really support this channel, guys. If you would support them, it would mean the world to me. Right now, those guys are Twisted Iron Hunting, Spit and Facts Game Calls, 2A Firearms, and Buck Wipes. But that's it, guys. Thanks for checking out a man versus deer video. I want to wish you good luck next time you're in the woods, and God bless. We'll see you next time.